YouTube land. My name's Tony. You're watching Faith and Coffee Bean. Y'all, I am a big coffee geek. This is my coffee corner at my work at home office. I have about six different espresso machines and coffee machines just here in my office. Not in my coffee corner. There's three right here, right now. Just got them all off to the side. Y'all, I am a big coffee geek. If you're a coffee geek like me, definitely think about subscribing. I started this channel about a year ago. I'm a very small YouTuber. And really, the idea was I just wanted to connect with the community and I just kind of wanted to get back into coffee. 20 years ago in college, I worked as a barista. It's like a story like a lot of people. I got the coffee bug. And for a long, long time, I didn't want to get any coffee gear because I wanted to have the best. I wanted to have an Italian espresso machine in my home. I wanted to spend $1,500 to $2,000, and there's not anything wrong with that. I've often said I am a coffee nerd, not a coffee snob, because I can't afford to be. So the main kind of reason why I'm doing this is that you might want to kind of get into espresso, but you want to do it in a very cost effective way. And pretty much the main reason why I kind of started my channel is really that, is just exploring all the different ways to make espresso on the cheap and everything. Let me just go right to one of the main ways you could do it. These two ways of making coffee. So here is a Flare Neo Flex, which is actually right about $100. This makes some of the best espresso you could possibly make for the cheapest price. But here's the thing, there is a big learning curve. There's a lot of finessing. This is something more on what a seasoned person would use who's been doing coffee for a really long time. One of the best espresso machines for your money, hands down, no hands bar, or however you want to say it, is this DeLonghi. This is DeLonghi ECP. There's tons of videos I've done on this. There's tons of videos on YouTube. If you're looking to get into espresso, this is going to be one of my number one absolute favorite recommendations. This machine is a single boiler, and I said boiler. It is a true boiler, where it means it has a heating element that sits on top of the group head and gets it nice and hot. And it works with a 51 millimeter system. And basically, if you're new to coffee, they're really, what I'm talking about is your portafilter. So this is basically a group head. This is your portafilter, and this is the size of the filter. I have an IMS rated basket in this one, which is a basket made in Italy that it's precision. And I'm actually gonna go ahead, we're gonna brew this up. I wanna pull a shot from this today, and I'm gonna be using my Hybrew H10B to do that. And this is by far one of my favorite, newest budget espresso setups. It just has all the bells and whistles. And y'all, I'm so excited that I got this. I actually got this machine from Hybrew. They sent it over to me to do a review. And I do have some really cool news I wanted to share with the folks who are subscribed. So that's why I'm saying, if you're a geek like me, subscribe, because there's a lot of stuff I have going on right now. So Hybrew reached out to me. They also sent me this really cool grinder. So every now and then, my wife has a YouTube channel, and I have this YouTube channel and another one. And we work on Amazon, and we make videos for Amazon. So we make videos, we share it with people who are buying stuff on Amazon. What's really super cool about that is I've had a lot of brands reach out to me, a lot of coffee brands, saying, hey, can you try our gear? One of those was dye fluid. I got to try this refractometer, and they sent it over to me for review. I love this thing. I had no idea how much I was going to love it, and it's been amazing because I've been really able to diagnose my coffee. They also sent me this really amazing smart scale. So there's a reason why I'm telling you all this. I got contacted by a company called Tuning, and y'all, they are making a kick butt new budget entry espresso machine that just looks so cool. It's a dual heating system, meaning like this system right here for this Gevi, it uses all these other machines other than my ECP over here, use something called a heat pump system, or a heat pump or thermal block. Excuse me, thermal block with a heat pump. So the thermoblock is not a traditional boiler, but it makes your water really hot really fast. So this one actually has one thermal block in it. This one has one thermal block. The Toonie actually has two thermal blocks. One dedicated strictly for the heat wand and for making hot water and getting your milk, and one strictly for your espresso. It means you could actually pull, it's like having a dual boiler system. You could pull shots and make and do a lot of kind of things at the same time, basically, y'all. It's pretty awesome. So they reached out to me. They have one basically a machine that's very similar price to this one, and they're gonna send it to me for review. So I'm so excited about that. So definitely stay tuned. That's gonna be in March. One of the reasons why I love this machine so much is take a look right here. Up top, there is temperature control. Oh, I think I might have unplugged this. Yeah, I gotta plug this puppy back in. There is temperature control where you could do a lower temp brew. You could really have a lot of leeway on what temperature you're using, which is awesome because sometimes for depending on your coffee roast, you might have different needs. So that is something really cool. It also offers pre-infusion. I have a 58 millimeter espresso machine, and it doesn't even have pre-infusion. So the fact that there's pre-infusion, you could change some of the profiles, change some of your timings, really makes this such a great option. Plus, you have this awesome gauge where you could see your temperature. So, y'all, this is a great way to go. I could kind of consider, when you look at both of these, the ECP over here, the high brew is kind of an upgrade to it, in the sense that it has all the bells and whistles. But the ECP, because it has that boiler and it keeps the group head hot, that's something really to think about. Let me go ahead. Yeah, there we go. Got everything turned on. So it's just really cool. As it's heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the temperature in just a moment. We're gonna end up pulling a shot. I wanna pull a couple shots today. Y'all, I haven't had any coffee. It's Monday. I'm pretty busy. In my day job, I run an insurance company. I'm a department head of an insurance company. And y'all, espresso is my outlet. It's my way to chill out and, you know, stop and smell the roses. Is that how you say that? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I might even pull a shot on my 58 millimeter Gevi that I have here too, just so you guys kind of see the difference between these. You know, I like finding things for a deal. That's my favorite thing. You know, I've said it before. I said it earlier. I definitely am a coffee geek. I'm not a coffee snob. I'm aspiring to be a snob. I think to be a good coffee snob, you got to have the cashola to buy the good stuff. And I don't have the cashola, but I am really excited when a lot of these cool brands, I've watched some of these videos that I've done, and they've reached out and said, "Hey, do you want to try this?" And you want to try the shows to the folks that watch your channel. So I'm excited. In the last probably 6 months or so, I have had so many brands reach out, and I've been able to get my hands on some cool machines. One of those that I just got lately was this Gevi right here. So this Gevi is a all-in-one system where it has a grinder built into it. I've went ahead and added on the bevel, so I could add a little bit of a blower onto there, and that's been really cool. And then, like I mentioned, Toonie is going to be sending me not only an espresso machine, but their new grinder. They have a really new cool budget grinder that's a conical burr grinder. There we go. See, here's that 51 millimeter. Excuse me, 58 millimeter. Listen to me, 51. Oh my goodness. Let me turn that off just for a sec. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna brew up some beans. I'm gonna use the exact same beans because why not? And I'm gonna let's have some fun. I need some coffee, y'all. Need some coffee. Okay. And we're both actually gonna be using I have my MHW Precision, so I'm using precision baskets on each one of these. And they are both technically 18-gram baskets, so I'm going to work with 18 grams on each. See what that's like, pulling it from each machine. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's get some beans going. I have been using these really amazing espresso beans that I got from Amazon, and I think we're going to finish the bag today. I've got them before, and they were okay. They weren't bad. They were definitely just okay. And it wasn't something I was going to recommend. And then I just got them recently, and I noticed that they don't have roast dates, but they do have, I'll show you right here, they do have a use by date. And that use by date typically is a year from when it was roasted. So if this one was basically used by December, so that kind of puts us in that December roast period. So right now, when I got them, I was about 2 months out from that point. So I think that was kind of what made these taste a little bit better, was just the fact that, obviously fresher is better. I'm always going to recommend, find a local roaster in your hometown. It's worth it. Get some very fresh coffee. Oh, we're right on the money. 18 grams right there. Get some fresh coffee, just that. It's always going to be the best thing to do. But I'm going to be honest, like I said before, I always operate on what I can do on a budget. And sometimes this is what's in the budget. And I rather figure out what is the cheapest way that I can get something that's going to taste really good. It's a single origin coffee. I know I can always get it from Amazon. The links for a lot of my Amazon stuff will be in the description after the video is live. I'll go and update that. But anytime you need something, look in there. My Amazon storefront page, I have a lot of cool things. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get my grinder. We're going to do this at, I want to say, a 7.5 almost. Okay. Good. Just making sure I got everything nice and clean. And let's load up the hopper. This is a single dosing machine. This is a high brew. And y'all, I have been loving it. This is the G5 on special. This thing can run anywhere from $150 to $200. Outside the special, it's about $220. Y'all, have been loving this one. This is now my favorite little grinder. It's a conical burr. It's 48 millimeter, I believe, total for the burr set, which is actually kind of large for something so small. I'm a little shocked sometimes. All right, let's get the beans going. Yeah, I definitely appreciate you liking and subscribing. Always helps out so much. If you ever have a question, definitely leave a comment below. I've had a lot of really great questions lately. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to find it for you. That's one of the big things I'm going to tell you right now. I really started this channel so I can interact with folks, and definitely follow me on Instagram. You're always more than welcome to send me a DM. There we go. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and let's make some magic. I'm going to go ahead and put it into the blind shaker today. I feel like a blind shaker day. You ever just get one of those days you're like, hey, it's a blind shaker day? That is definitely today. So this is my MHW 3 Bomber blind shaker. And I love this thing. I don't always use it because there's other ways you could kind of do this, but it's pretty cool. So I got my coffee grounds nice in there. Let's go ahead and get some shaking action going on. We're gonna be hunting for some good results. That's what we're gonna do. All right. Okay. I mean, is it necessary? No, it's not. But is it cool and fun? Yeah, I definitely think it's cool and fun. All right. Let's go ahead and do some prep. So I already got a clean portafilter right here, nice and ready to go. Matter of fact, I need to run a little bit of water through this before I go ahead and do everything. That's kind of one of the things when you're on the hunt for a budget espresso machine. The best way and the best prices right now are for these, like I mentioned, thermal block systems. And the thing about a thermal block system is it's not going to heat up that group head. So, y'all, I'm definitely going to recommend you want to go ahead and shoot a blank shot into the system here. And I'm actually adding my puck screen. I got a IMS created E and B lab puck screen that was just sent to me. So I'm going to go ahead and get that put in there. Okay. And again, just to heat everything up. I might not even do a full shot. I just don't want to throw it in there, cold metal, all that. Plus, it does help kind of clean the system out a bit. There's no other way to say it. There we go. See? That's good enough, right? So let's go ahead. Get that back out. Yeah, I really like this thing. This has been a really nice little portafilter. Cool thing is, I just cleaned my cup a little bit, another cup. So maybe we'll use that when we pull that shot. Okay, let me get you all back down here. There we go. Let's do that puck prep. Cool thing about this is this particular one's made for 51. So size-wise, it fits right on there. There's these little grooves that just sit on top of the portafilter. There we go. And of course, I'm going to do some WDT. So I'm putting a little, basically dosing ring on here, but I just realized this dosing ring doesn't fit very well because of this particular basket I'm using. So I'm going to use this one. And here is my WDD tool. If you're making espresso on a budget, I would really recommend investing in a really good WDD tool that's going to be versatile and work for a lot of things and kind of be one of those long-term use situations. There's a lot of crazy little fun gadgets. I could show you a couple right now, but this one has been my favorite. This is by MHW3 Bomber, and I like it because it doesn't matter what diameter I'm using for my portafilter, the 58 or whatever, I can go in between. I do have, to kind of talk about little crazy gadgets. This is a round one, but it's really built for the 51. I also have a round one for the 58 and a couple different sizes, and then you got stuff like your Cyclone, but this one's built just for 58. And those are all really cool, but it doesn't beat having a really good tool that you can use for everything. You know, that's going to be always your best cost saver, is a tool that you could use for multiple diameters, you know, multiple things. And let me grab my distributor here. All right. So I'm doing some distribution, and we're going to clean up the top here in a minute. Okay, got my distributor. And this is one of my favorites, Cafe. It's a really good one. Nice and robust. Okay. Go ahead and do some tamping. That look nice? Super pretty, right? That's what I'm talking about. It's the good stuff. Got my puck screen right on top. Let's go ahead and add it and pull our shot. Let's see here. I want to make sure y'all can see this. Got Bubba Fett up there chilling out. I'm gonna grab this so y'all can see it. Look at the owl down there. Isn't that cool? You can see the owl right there on the bottom of the basket. Okay. Got our temperature gauge. Gonna do a double shot. I always run it with a higher temperature. Oh, I should have put my scale there. Bummer. The scale is really important for a system that doesn't use a three-way solenoid, just because what happens is, bummer. I can't believe I forgot that. What happens is it's not going to automatically stop the water, so your water level is super important to your espresso results. There's just no other way to say it. Good thing is this does have volumetrics, and as you can see, I went pretty fine, and I'm definitely in the red. That's not where I want to be, but I know it's still going to make a really tasty shot. And I am getting some good crema built up, so that's definitely a good thing too. But yeah, definitely I should have put the scale. I have a perfect scale that fits there too. Bummer. That's okay. Again, volumetrics. So volumetrics is what the system actually has a predetermined amount of water it puts in there. So it does stop it at the right spot, but again, without having that scale, I'm gonna always highly recommend that. For a long time, I just eyeballed it, and everyone was like, "What are you doing?" now I kind of know why. All right, guys. And what's crazy is those are things I learned because people would watch my videos like you're watching right now, and they would leave comments and let me know, "Hey, dude. So if you ever have like a tip or trick, please share it with me. I'm not above that. I'm still learning." There's a lot of amazing YouTubers out there. I love watching Lance. I love watching James Hoffman. Han, oh man, his channel is awesome. If you haven't watched it, super cool. Tom's Coffee Corner, Morgan. I mean, there's so many amazing YouTubers out there, and I learned so much from them. So I'm always going to recommend subscribe to those guys. I'm the geek who's just trying to figure it out. But if you have, like I said, if you have a question, I'm going to try to get that answer for you. I promise you that. All right, so I'm checking the TDS, and that's the strength of the espresso. This is a 9.25, so that's right where I want to be. Let's give it a little taste. Look at that crema. Isn't that beautiful? Salute. Oh, man. That is a nice cup of coffee. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it tastes so good, y'all. Oh, man. That is just utterly delicious. So this machine, like I mentioned before, on special, it's going to be definitely sub 200. Regularly, I think it's 229. But when it comes to espresso machines, that's definitely budget for what you're getting. So I'm going to tell you this right now. I've done a lot of videos so far on this Hybrew, and I've been using it a lot. It's utterly amazing. I've been loving this thing so much. Its big brother is extremely popular because it is that 58 millimeter. It is a single boiler on that one as well, and it is the heat, basically the heat block. So for that one, like this one, difference is there's a couple other little bells and whistles. But the reason why I'm telling you this machine is kind of like getting the iPhone SE or something, where you're getting all the good internals and you're getting all the bells and whistles. You're not just paying $300 or $400 for it. So that's what I love about this. So if you're looking for like a modern, really good espresso setup, this is a good way to go. This is definitely not a bad way. Bells and whistles all day long. Now, if you're, like I said, if you're looking for tried and true, you're not going to be wrong with an ECP. I really am a big fan of both. I never have one machine that I'm like, this is the be-all, end-all. But I really love what Hybrew's been doing, and they're a great company. They're the ones that make this grinder right here, and this grinder has been probably my favorite so far. I've just really, really enjoyed it. I feel like it gives good clarity, and it gives a good cup. This is the Gevi, like I mentioned. We're gonna pull a shot on the Gevi too. So let's go ahead. We're going to measure out the exact same beans, and we're going to do the exact same grind setting. I'm not going to change that at all. Just so you guys kind of see the difference between the two machines. You know, why not? For the sake of science. That's always a good thing. So let's go ahead. Let me zero that out. And again, we're shooting for 18 grams. Oh, so close. Oh, man. Ah, there we go. Right on the money. 18. Nice, nice. That's a good feeling when you know you could eyeball a little bit. Look, 17.9. Okay, y'all. This is the hard part with coffee. I'm all excited. Let's add one more bean. Now it's 18.1. Hey, you can't please them all, right? Oh man, like I said, I'm basically done with this bag. You know, there's maybe an AeroPress in there. I've been really happy for under $7 to have single origin. That's Nicaraguan. I love the coffees from Central and South America. To my palate, they're my favorite. Definitely some of the most chocolate, well-balanced coffee out there, in my opinion. I love that part of the world when it comes to coffee. I'm going to go ahead and get this one hot as well. So let's go ahead. Let me get the puck screen in there, just so we could have some of that same best results possible. So might as well. Did it for the other one, gonna do it for this one. And again, big difference between, you know, a Lillet, you know, you got your Gaggias, you know, your Italian made with boilers that are very more along what you're gonna get inside a cafe. They're gonna have boiler systems. A lot of the at-home budget setups is going to be your thermal block, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Just you got to do stuff like this, like I mentioned, that little extra step. I'm actually going to set that aside here and let it just kind of heat up the cup while we're doing this. There we go. Here is my MH Bomber grinder, and I have been loving this thing. A grinder, listen to me. Scale. Because it's so small, it fits perfectly in there. Goodness gracious, grinder. Yeah, MH Bomber does make a grinder. I've been wanting to get my hands on one for a really long time. But guys, remember what I was talking about? I'm a espresso coffee geek, not a snob. Their grinder is over $300. It looks really cool and really awesome. But I guess I'm very budget minded. So I don't know if I'm going to get theirs. I definitely, I was just talking to my wife. I would really want to pick up either a DF54 or a DF64 real soon. I don't have any flat burr grinders here in the coffee corner, and that's kind of the next thing I really want to try out. You hear so many wonderful things about going flat burr. So I want to do some flat burrs. Lance has this really cool video where he replaced the burrs out of one of those really cheap grinders you get on AliExpress and Amazon. And I've been really tempted to pick one of those up and do that exact thing. I love DIY type stuff. And that's I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Turin, all the DF4, you know, all those companies with DF4s have been really making some great stuff lately. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and we're going to give this one the same love that we did the other one. So, same beans, same grind size, everything, same amount of coffee. Just want to make sure I had it all. Have this in here perfectly. Yep. Use the blind shaker. Shake the money maker. Oh. Okay. And for this, I'm going to do something a little bit different because the diameter is not the same. So it's not a 51. So I'm going to go ahead and put the dosing ring right on top of it. Let's give this a little cleaning. Perfect. We're going to get that dosing ring right on top. Let me lower this down so y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay. So like I mentioned, dosing ring, it needs to be used because this one's for a 51. I actually kind of opted for the 51 because it's just easier to grab the dosing ring. And look at that. I think it looks really clean right there. Isn't that awesome? Man, it smells so good. Oh my goodness gracious. Love this thing. I'll show you all the cyclone. I'm not really going to need to do it, but I'll show you guys just in case anyone hasn't seen that. It's totally unnecessary for me to use a cyclone after doing what I just did, but hey, why not? So the cyclone has the needles right in it. There's magnets that sit on top of the portafilter, and basically all you need to do is do that a couple times, and there you go. There's your WDT. So cyclone's pretty cool. I mean, I do like the cyclone, but I have been using this little lightning distributor like crazy just because I go in between all the different sizes. It's a little more old school. Okay. Give it a little tamp. Love this tamper. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add that puck screen nice and pretty. Make sure everything's nice and clean. Okay. Gotta have your control, right? Control sample. Ah, it tastes so good. Man, I even like how it tastes as it cools down. There we go. I know that should be cleaned a little bit here. Let's clean up this mirror a tiny bit. There we go. Nice and clean. I might have to plumb one of my espresso machines at some point because I tend to fill up my drip tray a lot because I make too much coffee. Is it too much? Is it an addiction? No, it's a hobby. All right, so let's go ahead and make some magic. Let me get a little better angle here for y'all. So, double. Just ignore that time because that was when I put the cup on there. Same grind size on the 58, coming out a little fast. Never mind. Just a little hesitation. Yeah, this Gevy's been a really blast to work with. I like it a lot. I like having the different portafilter sizes just because I like using all the different types of gear that I have. But man, they're both really awesome. If you're looking for one with a complete grinder, I'm always going to recommend this just because the grinder on this is actually really comparable to this one here. The results have been very similar. I probably should use the internal grinder just so I could show y'all, but I've been very, very happy with that internal grinder. I've heard horror stories of people who get the budget end ones and they're not happy. I've been pretty happy. Gevy actually makes a grinder, and I kind of have a feeling that the grinder that's in this one is the grinder they sell. So, all right, so let's go ahead for science. Let's take a little sample of this. big hand can't fit in there. This is a problem when you work with very limited space. Okay. There we go. Wow. 10.62. The other one was like a 9.5, which wasn't bad, but man, way better extraction on this. I don't. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. I wasn't expecting that. That's a big difference right there. Oh my goodness. Hey, I'm Noah. How you doing, buddy? Yeah. So let's go ahead. Let me try this out. And this is the Gevi. Salute. Cheers. Salanja. Man, that's a really good shot. It tastes really good. Super clear. This is the MH Bomber. This was the IMS basket. Same amount of coffee. You know, everything very similar. Lance just did this really great video comparing the 58, longer pucks to your 51s and all that, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a visual, because that's kind of an important thing sometimes. Here's one of my favorite things. If I can grab it really quick, if I can see it right here. No, I don't have one. I think I have them in my portafilter. Yep. Let me grab my portafilter. Okay. Yep. So here's a 51. This is for my DeLonghi. This is a 4-shot basket. This is one of my absolute favorite things to brew espresso in, because it creates that taller, deeper puck. And I do find, me personally, I'll use about 22, 23 grams. This is my favorite cup. Just because I like it strong. I'll end up pulling like a more of the spro over or quad shot type of a situation. And it just, it just is awesome. Just makes a really good shot. Man, that tastes so good. Now, you were to ask me which one I prefer. They're both excellent. That's seriously, it's almost hard to even tell between the two. This one obviously has a hotter temperature right now because I just pulled it. But other than that, the body on this one tastes a little bit more full. And I mean, that kind of, the proof is in the pudding right there. It's a point higher. So yeah, it makes sense. That makes logical sense. But yeah, they're both amazing. Both really good, right where they need to be. Man, super good. I think that if budget wise, it just depends on, get the most for your budget. That's what I recommend to anybody. Get the most for your budget. The ECP, my DeLonghi that I have over here in my corner, I picked that thing up on Facebook Marketplace for $40. And that's what kind of dipped my toe back into making espresso. And I just love it. So there's deals you could find, there's things you can do. That's the main thing. I encourage anybody, just with coffee, you just want to do it. Don't let anything hold you back. For years and years and years, I didn't buy myself an espresso machine, and it's crazy. But now I'm on a craze where I want one so bad. Hey, I'm now, man, I don't know if you've seen the Gaja GT, but man, I have been salivating for that. That looks so cool. And anybody who's into the coffee world, Gaja is pretty much the oldest espresso machine manufacturer that made, I think, one of the first ever espresso machines. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the oldest. They just came out with a new system, a dual boiler, and it just, wow, blows my mind. So cool to call it a GT. There's just some really, really cool stuff out there, y'all. There's no other way to say it. There's a big world. And the biggest thing I encourage anybody is just don't be on the fence. Just jump in, grab something. I like finding things that are budget ways to do stuff. The truth is, I love espresso with it sounds silly, with all my heart. But this bad boy is gonna make some of the absolute best coffee you'll ever have. And if you're on a budget, this is the way I'd go to. You know, get yourself a kettle, do a pour over, use your V60. There's so many cool things you can do out there. You know, that's what I love. You know, I love being able to just have a good cup of coffee. I know that it's going to be quality. Now, y'all, I went from not having any coffee today to now having two doubles. I think I'm good right now. Hey guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I try to go live about 3 to 4 times a week. It's kind of random. It's when I can jump away from work. I hope y'all are having a great day. Remember to like and subscribe. I have a small channel, like I mentioned, so it really does mean a lot to me and really does help us out. So if you want to support me, best thing to do is subscribe and like it, and leave a comment and all that good stuff. It helps me connect. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, DM me anytime, any questions you have. Like I said, even if I don't know the answer, I will search it out. That's one of my favorite things to do. Hey, I hope you all have a great day. Thanks so much. It's Monday. I'm going to conquer Monday today, y'all. Have a good one. Thanks so much.